Hi team. Good morning. I appreciate you all coming on a short notice. I wanted to have this meeting because I've observed some issues with our project timeline. We have missed a few key deadlines, and I think it's important that we address it together before it impacts our final outcome. So, Charlie, I'd like to start with you. Can you tell me, or can you tell us what's been going on from your perspective?
Thanks, James. I admit I've been falling behind. I've been juggling tasks from another project, plus some personal stuff. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to be seem incapable.
If I may, I just want to say that it's been really frustrating for the rest of us because I had to redo part of the work last week because we were missing Charlie's input. I've been staying late to catch up.
Okay, let's pause for a moment. I know tensions are rising, but let's remember to speak using I statements and let's try to actively listen to each other's. Angelica, try to replace that with how you feel rather than blame.
You're right, sorry. Charlie, I feel frustrated and overwhelmed when work is delayed because it puts pressure on the rest of us. I respect that you're handling a lot, but I felt unsupported.
I appreciate you saying that, Angelica. I didn't realize how much my delay was affecting you and the team. I just felt stuck and didn't know how to ask for help.
Charlie, thank you for owning that. Angelica, thank you for your honesty. I want to make sure that we move forward together. So, so that we can do differently. So this, so this doesn't happen again.
I think I need to be more transparent about my workload. Maybe we can adjust deadlines earlier instead of scrambling last minute. I also need to ask for help when I'm overloaded.
I'd appreciate that. And maybe we can have a weekly check in to make sure no one's behind.
That sounds like a collaborative approach. You're both taking responsibility and offering solutions. James, as the team lead, how can you support them?
so I can set up a shared tracker with progress updates and host a 15-minute check-in every Monday. Charlie, I'll also help you rebalance tasks if needed. And also for Miss Angelica, I'll make sure that you don't end up with extra work without an agreement.
Before we wrap up, let's each summarize what we're committing to. Charlie?
I'll be honest about my workload. Communicate delays early and follow our new check-in.
I'll stay open-minded, avoid assumptions, and bring up issues calmly in the moment.
I'll monitor progress and adjust the timeliness when it is needed. And I'll make sure that everyone's voice is being heard.
Excellent. That's good resolutions. Now, let's hear from our observers.
I noticed the turning point was when Angelica switched from blaming to an instatement that lowered the tension right away.
And Charlie's active listening helped too. He didn't get defensive. Instead, he acknowledged Angelica's feelings. That showed emotional maturity.
Well said. This was a great example of collaborating as a conflict sign, where both sides work together to find a win-win. Nice job, everyone.
As the manager, I used a collaborating style of conflict resolution. I didn't want to assign or blame, but instead encourage open discussion from both sides. So I tried to create a safe space where Charlie and Angelica could express themselves and feel heard. So it was effective because it helped them to take ownership of their roles and while working toward a shared solution.
um, at first, I was nervous because I knew I had made mistakes. But once I used statements like I felt overwhelmed, instead of blaming external things, it changed the whole tune. Angelica didn't get more upset. She actually listened. I realized that being honest about my feelings helped make the conversation more productive.
Emotions definitely affected how I spoke. At the beginning, I was frustrated and it came out a bit harsh, rather. But when the mediator reminded me to use I statements, I said, I feel stressed and unsupported. And Charlie actually heard me. That helped me calm down and move from complaining to problem solving.
My role was to make sure the conversation stayed respectful and productive, so I reminded them to use active listening and I statement, which helped reduce the tension. The most effective technique was redirecting their language when it got too emotional. Once they both started to truly listen, things got easier to manage.
What really helped move the conflict toward resolution was when Angelica shifted from blaming to expressing how she felt. Charlie responded better after that, and also when Charlie admitted he was overwhelmed instead of making excuses, it changed the direction of the conversation. It showed accountability.
So, from this role play, I learned that how you express yourself really matters in conflict. If you speak calmly and explain your side with respect, people will actually listen. I'd apply this in a real workplace by choosing my words carefully and stepping to mediate instead of taking sides.